So in this lesson, we're going to talk about the effects of multiplying or dividing by 10. Multiplying or dividing by 10. Okay? So 3 times 10 we know is 30. 3 times 10 is 30, times 10 is 300. 3 times 10 times 10 times 10. 3 times 10 is 30, times 10 is 300, times 10 is 3,000. Okay, let's just, I guess you'll have to trust me on some of these, but you can use a calculator if you want. 2 and 34 hundredths is 23 and 4 tenths. 2 and 34 hundredths times 10 would be 234. And 2 and 34 hundredths times 10 times 10 times 10 would be 2,340. The question is, we can see that there's some sort of connection. Like with these threes, the 3 is still there. With this 2 and 34 hundredths, the 2, the 3, and the 4, those digits are still there. The question is, how do we get there? What's the easier way? Well, we know that there's a decimal point here. Could just point 0, right? This one has one. We'll put one here. Put one here. I'm going to use a different color for a moment. So let's talk about where our decimal was originally. Our decimal was originally there, correct? So I put in all those decimals. So this time it moved to the right 1 time. This time it moved 2 place values to the right. This time it moved 3 place values to the right. This time it moved 1 to the right, 1 place value to the right. This one it moved 2 place values to the right. And this time it moved 3 place values to the right. So whenever you multiply by 10, like we multiplied by it 1 time here. So it moved once to the right. We multiplied by 10 twice here, so it moved to the right twice. And lastly, we did it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 place values to the right. The same for this. Even though the decimal, see in this one the decimal is sort of like, we don't always show it with whole numbers, but even when it is shown, like right here, we still move it 1 time to the right when we multiply by 10 1 time. And here, we moved it 2 place values to the right. Here we moved it 3 place values to the right. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens with division. So 3, there's a decimal there. I guess I'll fill that in later. Well, I'll use that later. So 3 divided by 10 would be 0.3. 3 divided by 10 is 0 and 3 hundredths. 3 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10 is 0 and 3 thousandths. So let's try this negative number. Negative 2 and 34 hundredths divided by 10 is negative, I'll put a 0 there. 0 and 234 thousandths. This would be negative 0 and 234 ten thousandths. And this one is negative 0 and 234 hundred thousandths. Okay. It's going to be much easier just to show you like I did before. So the decimal value was originally here. The decimal value was originally here because this part wasn't. Decimal value was originally here because this wasn't here. This all wasn't here. It was 2 and 34 hundredths, 2 and 34 hundredths, 2 and 34 hundredths. When I divided by 10 1 time, I moved my place value. I moved 1 place value to the left. 2 place values to the left. 3 place values. Let me write that a little bit better. 3 to the left. Even with this negative and this decimal, we moved 1 to the left. 2 to the left. 3 to the left. We just put the 0 in front just so it doesn't look like the decimal doesn't look like spec. If you want to leave the 0 out, you technically can. I'll show you. It won't really make a difference. So in example 5, we have 4 times 10 times 10 times 10. So since we're multiplying, we're going to move to the right, and we're going to move 3 spaces to the right. So let's write 4. Let's write in our decimal because it is there. We're going to move 3 place values to the right. 1, and then let's put those zeros in. So we know that 4 times 10 times 10 times 10 is equivalent to 4,000. We could put the decimal there, but there is always, so we can leave it out. I'm going to put it this time. So we have 2.5 or 2.5 or 2 and 5/10 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10. So since we're dividing, we're going to move to the left, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We're going to move 4 spaces to the left. And let's go ahead and write our number. Now you might be tempted just to put 4 zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's not going to work because when you go under 1, 2, 3, 4, you had to go underneath the 2, like over the 2. And so there's only 3 zeros right there actually. So 2.5 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 is equivalent to, let me see how I might say this, or how I will say this. So tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000. So 25 100,000s. If you care, you can place a 0 here if you would like. I'm going to delete it for the people with the notes, or just looking at the notes. So 7 23 hundredths. Okay. So we will move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the multiply right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again, you wouldn't just put 4 zeros here, because you go underneath the 2 and the 3. That already takes 2 of where you would put those zeros. So always just show the work, show the arrowhead, show the decimal. And we know that 7 23 hundredths times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is equivalent to, let's see, I'm going to write it first and then I can say it. So 72,300. I'm going to go ahead and not write that decimal there because we know that it's there. Oh, so we actually have one more problem on this section. Example number 8. 3 4/10 divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10. So we're dividing, so we're going to move left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 3 4/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place my decimal. Placeholders. So 3 4/10 divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10. I think that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Is 0, 0, 0. We'll say this correctly after I write it. So tenths, hundreds, thousandths, 10,000. Wait. Tenths, hundreds, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, millionths. So 34 millionths. I believe 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And we'll put this 0 here. So describe what you would have to do in order to make another number. So basically we're going to multiply and divide by 10 to make numbers. So we have 2. We're trying to create 2,000. So I like to place my decimal on the second one, like where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get here, but I was here. You see how it was right here? So it was here. So I need to move it 1, 2, 3 to the right. Always put the arrowhead so I know which direction you're going. So 1, 2, 3 to the right. So I need to move my decimal 3 times to the right. So I'm going to have to multiply. Like I'm going to the right, so I'm multiplying, and left will be dividing. So I can say that, so 2 times 10 times 10 times 10, multiplying it 3 times, is equivalent to 2,000. So let's look at example 10. So negative 613, we're turning into a negative 6 and 13/100ths. So my decimal was here. My decimal was here. And I need to move it. I need to get it here. So I need to move it 2 times to the left. So I need to move my decimal 2 times to the left. So I'm going to divide, because I need to go to the left. So negative 613 divided by 10 is equivalent to negative 6 and 13/100ths. Let's look at these last two. So example 11, negative 3 and 45/100ths, we're trying to turn that into negative 34,500. So my decimal was here, but I want it here. So it was here, and I need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So I need to move my decimal 4 times to the right, so I need to multiply because it's moving to the right. So negative 3 and 45/100ths times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is equivalent to negative 34,500. Oh, that should be a comma. If you want to put the decimal, you can put the decimal. Last one, example 12. We're trying to convert, or we're trying not even to convert, we're just trying to change 5,010 to 5 and 100. So my decimal was here. So I'm going to put this 0 here to help me. My decimal was here, and I needed it to move 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. 3 to the left. So left means divide. So 5,010 divided by 10 divided by 10 divided by 10 is equivalent to 5 and 1/100th. That's it. Thank you.